Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to episode 38 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. Another great weekend of CFL action. We got this week's Power Rankings, but we're going to start off with the NHL Finals. Colorado up 2-0, brother. That last game, sheesh.
That last game is sheesh, all right, man.
Not sheesh. It's a sheesh. Like, man, they were down 3-1 in like the first 10 minutes. Or 3-0, sorry.
3-0, yeah.
Or 2-0 in the first 10 minutes, and they only got a shot on net, man. Like, domination.
Yeah, it's not something you expect out of Tampa. Like, we know how good Colorado could be, but you're like, okay, Tampa, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. They've played pretty good over the course of the playoffs. They're not going to get beat 7-0 in a game. Never mind being down that early in a game as well. And, yeah, it was all Colorado in that one.
Vasilevsky, 3 goals again in the first period, bro. We're like, oh, he doesn't do that. We ain't worried, but it's time to be worried.
Yeah, first time he did in game 1, second time now in game 2, right? The best thing to me, and I guess it is what it is, and he's there already, but they let him play the whole game, didn't take him out. And I guess Vasi probably doesn't mind anyways. He probably wants to stay in there and play the whole thing anyways, but
yeah.
But I mean, he's only stopped 85% of his shots that he's faced, so that's not going to help you win the Stanley Cup. You know what? And we've seen him against Rangers. He wasn't very good in those first 2 games. He usually starts to bounce back in game 3. So we'll see if that ends up happening in game 3. But the Avs, their speed has been a big factor in this series so far, and they've been just taking it to Tampa Bay and relentless, right? Always on them. So
their team defense and their forecheck and their speed. Tampa Bay cannot handle it. And, you know, last week, a couple days ago, I always get lost with these episodes now. Just recently, we talked about how, you know, Tampa Bay, they're a veteran team, 2-time Stanley Cup winner. They'll make adjustments. They'll come out strong with that close 4-3 loss. Bro, it's like no adjustments were made. Nothing was going right. The first line of Palat, Stamkos, Kucherov, one shot on net all game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. 16 total, really, right? That's it.
Frank Coos didn't have to work too hard.
Kemper.
Oh, Kemper says this. Thank you. Darcy Kemper. For me, it's like, it doesn't matter.
No. I could have been in that, and it probably would have been fine. Probably not.
Whoa, hold on there, bro. But, if your first line can only get 1 shot on net, you're in trouble. And now it's like 2 games in. I don't know if they can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have to figure it out quick, obviously. Speaking of that first line there for Kucherov, they were outplayed badly against the McKinnon line. So I'm interested to see in that game 3 now that they're in Tampa if Cooper will make some adjustments and get them to avoid that McKinnon line, the Cale Makar defensive pairing, enough to get that line going, right? Because and then another funny stat was Makar and Hedman on the ice at the same time. Colorado had 6 attempts, you know, and Tampa had 0. So, you know, Makar is the best defenseman in Colorado. Hedman is the best defenseman for Tampa, and you're seeing the big difference there right now. In Colorado, everything is going their way.
Makar is the one right now in this league. He is the best defenseman in the league, hands down. And Colorado obviously has the best roster from A to Z, hands down. Yeah. Like, we looked at Tampa and, they're a deep line. They have that veteran 4th line. They're strong. None of these lines look strong. Like, after that first line got shut down, it was pretty embarrassing performance by Tampa Bay, bro.
These first 2 games, they've been outshot attempted 105-71. So it's big Colorado advantage that way, right?
Yeah.
The Stars of Colorado have been better, even though McKinnon's only had 2 points, I believe, so far this series. You know, they're still the Stars of Colorado. Rantanen's been great. Have been way better than Tampa's.
Yeah.
Right. The top defensive pairing, but Tampa's Ryan McDonough and Chernak have been terrible against the top line of Colorado, and that could be another reason. You know, maybe home ice advantage will help Tampa because they can avoid some of these matchups that Bednar has put them in so far. So, you know, and Colorado's getting plays from bit players too. Valerie Nishkinen is
his playoffs are crazy, man.
So Burakovsky was another one. Unfortunately, he got hurt. He's not playing tonight.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's been all Colorado so far. We'll see if Tampa can stop the bleeding in game 3.
But how do they do that, bro? Looking forward to Game 3, which is obviously the most important game usually in any series, but especially now when you're down 2-0 in the Stanley Cup. What can Tampa do? Like, other than Colorado falling apart?
They got to somehow figure out how to slow Colorado down, man.
Yeah.
Slow that tempo, the high style of tempo that Colorado likes to play, right? I mean, that's what Colorado is coming out. You got to slow down. You got to almost find what St. Louis kind of did to win a couple games out of Colorado, right?
Yeah.
If they can do that. And I know in the games that St. Louis did beat Colorado, Binnington actually played pretty good. So Vasilevsky's going to have to get back to form to play really well.
Yeah.
Tampa's got to slow them down, somehow clog up that middle, and, finish their chances. But you need more than 16 shots.
Absolutely.
16 shots. What they said was it was the second lowest shots faced in a Stanley Cup shutout since 1955-56. So, Kemper didn't have to do much to earn that shutout. So,
yeah.
Patrick Waugh was the other one back in '86.
I can't think of a way that Tampa Bay actually gets that accomplished. Like, no. Colorado's forecheck and their speed is just too much, and it doesn't look like they're slowing down.
No, and it's not just one or two lines. Like every one of their lines are coming at you, right?
Yes, wave upon wave of pressure that you can't even get it past your blue line. How do you figure that out?
Exactly.
Especially when you're the old team.
Yeah, you gotta do you resort to a trap kind of play style, but that's not Tampa's style either, right? So
exactly, it's not like they can revert to being totally. You got to go with what got you there, pretty much. Yeah. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, and they can't match toe to toe, so you can't do that with Colorado.
No,
you're not going to go all out like that. So they got to get their chances. They got to get their own forecheck going. Unfortunately, like you look down the line and it's you got Corey Perry and Pat Maroon is maybe your fourth line, so that's a little bit slower. That's not going to help you against this Colorado team that can bring it line after line, right? So
and they don't have I can't say they don't have a defenseman that can jump in the play, but they don't have one like Colorado has 2 or 3. Yeah. And when you can't put that push on them when you have to, you're in trouble. Like their defense looks slow, big and slow.
Yeah.
Rather than big and fast. They're great at blocking shots, or they used to be, but in this kind of game, this kind of matchup with speed, they don't got it, bro. They don't got the horses.
No, if you're blocking shots, that means you don't have the puck at all ever, right? So
yeah,
Colorado's bringing it. Just another crazy stat that I've seen. Only 4 teams in NHL history have fallen behind 2-0 in both the conference finals and the Stanley Cup finals. And none of them have won the cup. So
no, that's not a good sign right now, Tampa Bay.
Can Tampa be the first? We'll find out.
Well, I think I got Tampa in 6. Oh, yeah.
I got Colorado in 7, so I don't know if that's going to come out either. But
Colorado's looking strong, man. Colorado's looking strong, bro.
They certainly are. I mean, top to bottom, right?
Yeah. Like the only silver lining, what for the Lightning? They're 7-1 at home in the playoffs, so
yeah.
So maybe if they can flip that switch,
and they did it against the Rangers too, right? They were down 2-0 in that series. They flipped it, and that series totally went their way starting in Game 3. So
yeah,
which the Rangers had a 2-0 lead. So if Colorado gets a 2-0 lead today, don't let it go.
No, and that's the thing. They're such a superior team to that New York outfit, bro.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tampa Bay. I think it's time for you to move over.
We'll see. Never count them out. I still wouldn't count those Stanley Cup champions out, but a 7-0 game in Game 2 definitely gives you high doubts that they can turn it around.
Demoralizing. So if this is it for Tampa Bay, I'm counting them chickens for the sake of talking on Ray and Benny Talk Sports. Say they don't win this, and it's done. They're old. They can't win it the following year. Still dynasty talk for being so good for so long with 2 cups, or do they fall off to the side as a good team?
Good team. I don't think they get that dynasty label. I think they need to get this one. Maybe if they get one next year, if they end up winning it next year, then maybe the dynasty talk can come back in.
Yeah.
But to me, 2 is not enough for a dynasty. You need at least 3 out of 4 years or 3 in a row kind of thing to get that dynasty talk for sure.
So are they like in the New Jersey Devils, Martin Brodeur kind of tier?
Yeah, probably. I mean, the Devils
Detroit.
won a few cups there. Detroit, Detroit was more
so long, 20-something years in the playoffs. That's different. That's so different, man.
Yeah, it's different. But Colorado, I mean, what did they win in the 90s? 2?
2.
Couple?
One with Bork and one without. Is that right?
You know, like the Chicago teams to me that won in the early 2000s. I mean, they won those few in a short amount of time. To me, that would be considered a dynasty or whatever. But
Yeah.
the mic went down, pulled that down. So
it happens. It happened to me one time. The mic was drunk. So you got to hold up the mic sometimes. But yeah,
that's enough.
Dynasty talk is tough, and they're on the brink.
Yeah.
They still are on the brink. Don't get me wrong. There's obviously
not over yet, man. It's not over yet
till that lady sings. But she's warming up, bro.
Warming. We'll see. Game 3, man.
Let's move on to the CFL and Blue Bomber talk. What a great week of CFL. People talk about the CFL action. They see what happens when they get a full training camp, full preseason. The game is happening, bro.
It is a little bit too many field goals still for my liking in these games, but maybe at the same time, maybe the defenses aren't. I mean, the defenses are, like we like to talk about, bending kind of thing and not breaking totally for touchdowns. But a lot of field goals so far. I'd like to see a few more touchdowns turn into some of these games, especially for the Bombers.
And your boy Leggio's 100% on the field goals.
Yeah,
high
2 for 2.
Is he the highest percentage in the league right now?
Is he actually? I don't know. I didn't check that. Is he?
Yeah, I think so. He's better than Beatty. He's better than Beatty, that's for sure.
How about Lewis Ward?
Has he missed yet in Ottawa?
He did miss on Friday.
Well, there you go then, bro.
But then he hit his next 4 after that. So
you want to talk about kicking? Do you want to talk about kicking any? Yeah, you can go ahead and talk about kicking if you want. I already told you I ain't talking much about kicking though.
Matt, the funny thing was with Leggio is we talk about he was 2 for 2 on his field goals, right? And then you got this critical convert again, 2 games in a row, and you couldn't hit that. Like, come on, man. Those, like, I don't know if the pressure just gets to him on those ones. Yeah, but then he hit the game winner the other day, like
exactly.
Last week,
he won
the week before. So
I don't know. Like, I'm preaching patience online here, bro. I'm preaching patience, but if the next couple weeks happens, they do got to look. They got to look somewhere.
Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't just the missed convert. He kicked the kickoff 2 out of bounds, right?
Oh, that was brutal. Yes,
so,
give the team the ball on their 50-yard line.
Right, and that was one before half.
Yes.
That Ottawa still messed up on.
Unbelievable. Paul LaPolice. Do you think that he's just not aware of the clock sometimes, or a lot of the times?
Yeah, I think his awareness is not there.
Yeah.
And even in the first game, he kind of blamed the players more because their situational awareness wasn't there, kind of thing. But
coach him up, bro.
When it's 2 weeks in a row, some of that's got to fall on the coaching, right?
Yeah.
Like you still, I mean, even if you would have attempted a field goal from where they were, it would have been a long field goal, but at least you would have attempted that.
Yeah.
And I think they still had 17 seconds left, or 7 seconds. What was it? Something like that. And they didn't get anywhere on it. So again, you're leaving points on the board, and maybe that would have stemmed the Bombers' momentum going into half a little bit, because the Bombers came out, I don't want to say roaring in the second half, because they still didn't put up a crazy amount of points, but they were better in the second half than they were in the first half.
Yeah.
So, but we need more consistency out of that offense, man. I want to see more out of that offense.
More running game, please. More Johnny Augustine, please. Bro, I've been a big, bless you, if that was a sneeze. I've been a big Johnny Augustine fan, man, for a while. Like, since free agency, I was very comfortable with the team not signing Andrew Harris and making Augustine a priority. And I don't understand what they're waiting for, putting this guy in. Like, he goes 1 for 24, and then he's on the bench for how long, bro? And he doesn't get the ball. It's really frustrating as an Augustine supporter that he's not getting the ball as much, and sometimes that he's not RB1. He's not the clear RB1.
That is the thing. Like, if your first carry was for 24 yards, why aren't you getting another one?
Yeah, let that momentum
go. How
long
long is it going to take for you to get another one?
Yeah, he's such a dynamic runner. He runs with power. So I just think they got to give him the ball more.
But they did all around. I mean, they ran for 115 yards total between Oliveira, Dembski, and Augustine. So it was better.
Yeah.
The O-line had a rough first half. They got better after the second half, which is kind of odd, considering that Couture got hurt. Michael Couture got hurt.
Still hurt. He was practicing on Monday.
So he's probably out again this week. So it's odd that it got better, but maybe they made some adjustments there.
They had to have, yeah.
Colaros had a rough first half too. And I guess that could coincide again with the O-line not being there. But They got it together. That touchdown before half to Ellingson, another great Ellingson touchdown. Like you say, big body.
Just stand there in the end zone.
Getting those 2 yards in the end zone, turn around and catch that bad boy. So
that's a good safety valve to have, brother. Ooh,
yeah.
Great pickup.
And that Dalton's shown. He's still showing that he can play.
Oh yeah, he's shown a lot.
Yes.
Like did you see the route on that touchdown?
Yeah,
Just a nice shoulder move in, and then he just went straight to the corner, and Caleros find him. That's going to be a good connection there. Definitely the passing game looked a lot better than it did. And again, that comes with Caleros being able to set his feet and having time. Because he's not as mobile as he used to be, and maybe he's been told, yo, don't be as mobile as you used to be. Protect yourself, especially after last week.
We saw that week 1 where he didn't protect himself totally. But
my heart stopped, bro. My heart stopped. Let's look at the CFL Power Rankings after the week 2 matchups. We're pretty close on some of these, and then we're pretty far apart on other ones.
Yeah, we got some differences, but it's good.
Bottom to top or top to bottom?
Let's go bottom to top.
So who do you got at 9? We agree on this one. How can you not agree on this one?
None other than the Edmonton Elks.
Yeah, I think
Chris Jones, what are you doing, bro?
I don't know what they look better. They looked better against Saskatchewan. You know, Cody Fajardo said a high passing game percentage wise. I think he was like 20 for 26 over 300 yards. Did he hit 300?
No, 247 he ended up with.
247.
So. Yeah.
So he didn't have to work too hard. And the Elks offense is just, you can't get Wilder going. 9 carries for
40.
So he's still averaging 4.5 yards, but you can't get him going because you can't run the ball because you're always catching up and you need points. So I don't know, bro. Edmonton rough.
But that's the thing. They had 9 carries there. Arbuckle threw for 35 attempts. So while it was better, Saskatchewan also made a lot of mistakes in that game and a lot of penalties. Derek Moncrief got kicked out, ejected for 2 objectional calls. So, and Saskatchewan had a lot of penalties. So that helped Edmonton kind of maybe stay in this game. But Edmonton were also leading a few times in this game.
Yeah.
And their D, which was better again than week 1,
so much better,
could not make the stops it needed. Broken coverages led to some big plays. They still gave up over 120 yards rushing. Mm-hmm. So they still got work to do, And then late in the game when they were driving, they tried to get Manny Arsenault to block Larry Dean. That did not end up well.
Might as well put me there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they kind of blew the game at the end, but I guess not really blew it. I mean, Saskatchewan helped them out with the penalties and stuff. But they had a chance, and they couldn't get it down. But Kenny Lawler, nice touchdown.
What a beautiful catch in the back of the end zone. Holy cow. How much? He had like 7 for 100 something?
He had 12 catches for 150.
Goodness.
Unless
back.
I wrote that wrong now, or down wrong, but 12, yeah.
He's back.
So, he's there. Kenny Lawler is still probably the best receiver in the game, but, but Edmonton's still number 9 power rankings.
Do you think Edmonton is a defensive work in progress for this year? Or do you think, no, this is like a throwaway year to see what Chris Jones can do with his roster?
Yeah, but he brought in a lot of guys, though, right? He brought in a lot of his own guys. So it's got to be, I would say, more of a work in progress, and we'll see if they get better. Passing-wise, they did. Running game, still, they were getting chewed up. So, we'll see as the season goes on. They got, I think, 2 games against Calgary or Calgary next. They got next up against Calgary. So we'll see what happens there. But they need that D to get better quickly.
I don't have as much optimism or any optimism with this team, brother.
I'm not seeing it either. I had optimism when I picked them to make the playoffs. So right now I'm thinking that was a terrible pick.
Playoffs?
So don't hold that to me against me.
Don't worry, it's all good, bro. Who do you got at number 8? I got the Alouettes and Kahari Jones, unfortunately.
Yeah, same with me, man. Same with me. Heartbreaking loss there against the Argos.
Oh, gosh.
21-yard field goal or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a good. Yeah, we covered that live last week.
Yeah.
Adams out, 2 passes? 2 pass attempts?
Like
Trevor Harris. Trevor Harris looked decent.
He did.
He looked decent moving that, especially without William Stanback. He had he got into a bit of a rhythm, but things aren't looking good for Kahari, bro.
No, and the sad thing is, they came back in that game. They fought back. They got into field goal range, and then they just blew the kick. And it should have been a chip shot. So. They've been in both games. They were leading the Calgary game. They blew that in the second half. They were losing against Toronto, fought back in the second half, but still end up losing. So they've been close, but it hasn't come together yet. And I think they got a back-to-back coming up against Saskatchewan now.
They're in trouble.
those are two big games. They got to at least get one of those, but
yeah,
even two of them for Kahari to save his job. I'm scared if they go 0-3, is that going to be the quick hook for Kahari?
No,
I think that's too early.
Too quick. That's way too early. Yeah. Make it at least to Labor Day. Let's see what happens on Labor Day. This owner, I'm a little conflicted, bro. I love his energy, without a doubt. He's starting to get used to this Twitter thing now. He says he's going to get lessons from his front office staff on how to use Twitter, how to use hashtag handles and all that. I think he's got to stop making these predictions, bro.
Exactly.
Not that I believe in jinxes, but you're giving the other team bulletin board material.
Yeah. All the other stuff he's doing on Twitter, engaging, all that stuff, that's fantastic.
Yes.
But stop putting pressure on the team, stop guaranteeing a victory. Like, he's already talking about opening night, Thursday night. So he's building up some momentum there, and that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
And the CFL needs it. The CFL needs owners like that, to be engaging in it, and Edmonton's got Victor Cui, who's also active on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, stuff like that is great. BC, we'll see what they do in their next game, but they're active out there too. So keep that stuff up. But the predictions and the guarantees. Oh. Just leave that out.
Like going into this game, he's like predicting that his team will go 14 and whatever, the rest of 16-0. It's like, no, bro, don't do that to your team. The other team's like, you hear what their owner said? Let's smash them, and they did.
Yeah.
Let's go for number 7, where we have a little bit of a disagreement here. I got the Hamilton Tiger Cats, bro, because they stink. Who do you got at 7?
I got the Ottawa Red Blacks,
bro.
Still not.
I feel you disrespected the Red Blacks, bro. I feel you disrespect the Red Blacks a little bit. What are your thoughts on Red Blacks at 7?
They've hung in there with the Bombers, and yes, they probably could have won both those games, and they probably should have won both those games.
Yeah.
But Lapo, to me, Paul Lapolis is still making the mistakes. His team's making the mistakes. As a head coach, Lapo's making mistakes, which then his team is also making mistakes, and they're blowing these games. So for me, yes, they're in these games, but they're not quite there yet. And maybe they caught the Bombers at the right part of the season. I mean, this obviously as the season goes on, it'll be telling, and we'll figure out who was actually good. Was Ottawa actually good, or was the Bombers just downplaying the first couple games because they weren't ready yet, kind of thing?
Yeah.
So Hamilton, I still believe in Hamilton. They were winning that game, and
I get you.
Blew it.
I get you. I have Ottawa at 3. So Benny has them at 7. I have Ottawa at 3 because they played the Bombers and they did really well. And I think that defensive line of theirs is going to be a terror to the league, especially in the East. Gosh, someone's going to win a game there eventually. But Toronto has won.
Yes.
But you know what I mean? It's really bad in the East right now. But I think, especially when they get William Powell back as their running back, I think that offense just adds another layer to it, and I think they'll be even more dangerous. So I don't think they fear anyone in the East, to be honest with you. And I think they'll just get better.
That's the problem, though. One touchdown in those 2 games, you had over 800 yards of offense, and you could only manage 1 touchdown. And I get it, maybe the running game, but I mean, that Williams that played the last game, they actually didn't do too bad. I think he had almost 80 yards rushing or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you got to get those touchdowns to win in this league. It's very rare that you're going to win. I mean, it's obviously happened where teams have won with 5 field goals here and there kind of thing, but touchdowns, man. And Mazzoli's moved that ball, but Lapo's got to help get them into the end zone.
That's the thing. And then I go back to who they were playing. That Bomber defense, especially with Jeffcoat back. Dang, that deep line played difference. So much better. And they had not so much pressure, but Mazzoli wasn't able to get comfortable. A couple of times he got on the rollout, got a good throw, hit the sidelines. But when push came to shove, that defense showed up.
Yeah.
That D-line was a factor. And they got Hansen coming back in, bro.
Yeah, that's awesome. That'll help quite a bit. Yeah, for sure. So having Jeffco back, big difference, man.
He was crazy. So that's a great one there. 7-3 Ottawa. Who do you got?
You have your Hamilton Ticats at 7.
Yeah, man.
I might as well say mine. I have them at 6. So what are you not seeing from them that you're going to drop them to 7? Well, I mean, it drop or pick Ottawa over Hamilton that far.
Oh, for sure, Ottawa. I just like their defensive line and the way the Hamilton O-line. Of course, they didn't let as many. I think they only had 1 sack last game compared to 8.
Yeah.
But again, that Ottawa off, and I think Ottawa's O-line is looking good too. So in a battle of trenches, I'm taking Ottawa over Hamilton. And in a battle of quarterbacks, Mazzoli and Evans, I'm taking Mazzoli right now.
Evans had a good game, but again, an up and down game with the turnovers, 2 interceptions, right? And a bad interception, and then the fumble late in the game that led to a touchdown that tied the game.
It's like he plays better when there's someone there pushing him.
Yeah. So, I mean, the yards are there and the TDs were there, but yeah. I mean, the first fumble or the first, one of his fumbles also knocked him out of field goal range. So he lost points there, 3 points. The other one led to a touchdown by Calgary. So 10 points, kind of a swing there for Evans. And then the interception was inside the 10-yard line of Calgary. So it's a lot of points given up there.
And I can't give them higher than 7th after that collapse, bro. I can't do that. Why didn't they win? 17-point lead? Is that right? 17?
No, they had more than that. Oh, yeah, 17-point lead after the first quarter. They were going into half up 21.
I can't, bro. They're at 7 for me, the Hamilton. Until they can prove that they're that team again from the Grey Cup. And I thought they would be. It's very surprising to me that they are where they are right now. And I don't know what's wrong. But, yeah, I'm going to have them at 7. You have them at 6.
Yeah, just right above. East Division obviously is still wide open, so
what a mess. Yeah,
they can turn that thing around. And again, it's a CFL, so you're never out until you're officially out.
And at 6, I have the first place Eastern team, Toronto.
No respect.
I don't have any respect for them, bro. I have no respect for the 6. I think the BC team right now, the way they looked in week 1, was better than the Toronto team that looked in how they looked in week 2. So I have Toronto at 6, BC at 5. And so do you, bro.
No, other way around, man. I have Toronto at 4 and BC at 5.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, BC at 5. That's what I'm saying. That's where we match up.
Oh, yes. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. So Toronto, you got them pretty high compared to my 6. What are your thoughts on Toronto?
I just got them there because, I mean, they're coming based off of last season where they finished. And coming into the season, first game of the season, they came out. I know they got lucky at the end, but they got the victory, their first game after a bye week. So maybe a little bit rusty going in and maybe losing that energy into the second half. But to me, they're still number 4 right now. We'll see when this week coming up when they play again. But I would take them. BC again. I don't know if BC is really good or if Edmonton was really bad in that week 1. So I need a second game out of BC before I turn into more of a believer for them.
Yeah, it's like I am jumping on them big. I really like that Butler, bro.
Yeah.
I really like that they can lead. Well, it looks like, even though Edmonton looked putrid, it looks like they can at least lean on him, and it doesn't all fall on Rourke's shoulders. And just Rourke looked really prepared.
Yeah, but and now I look at Saskatchewan, and they ran up the yards too on Edmonton. So is that going to be a common theme or
against Edmonton?
Butler? Yeah.
Well, for sure.
So thinking Butler ran up on Edmonton too.
Yeah.
Is it just Edmonton's that bad, or is Butler that good? So that's why I need another game out of BC before I pump them up a little bit more. But they're still at number 5 in my rankings.
Yeah, I like that pounding run that he had for a touchdown. When he run through 3-4 Eskimos, maybe Elks. Sorry,
Elks. Yeah,
Elks. That was crazy. that bought me into Butler, bro. I bought in. At 4, I have Calgary, where you have Toronto.
Yeah, so I have Calgary at 2.
Yo, Calgary at 2 for real? You gotta explain that to me, bro. I ain't feeling Calgary. I don't know why. Like 4 is still good, but I'm not feeling them.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because like in my rankings there, I mean, Calgary and Saskatchewan, they're both kind of the same to me so far this year. They haven't shown enough, but they're both 2-0. Yeah. And Calgary, yes, they came back in both games. They started both games off slow. They're down at half in both of them. Big comeback win against Hamilton. And this time they actually stuck with Bo Levi. Yeah. Right? Instead of changing. And he came on in the fourth quarter, basically, and helped them win that game. I don't like his cockiness about it.
Well, that's it.
Like, dude, you played one good quarter, basically, and how long? Yeah. And his quote, "I'm not going to use my middle finger, but the ones talking trash, it's nice to be back."
Okay, bruh.
Bruh. You were still 4 of 12 for any pass that was thrown 15 yards downfield, over 15 yards. So that's not good.
Yeah.
So just chill. Let's see maybe another game from it.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm not buying into Calgary yet. I don't see, like, I see Fajardo. That's what it comes down to between those two for me. The battle of the quarterbacks right now. And I think Fajardo's a little more steady. Not spectacular.
Yeah.
He's probably, other than Rourke's one performance, he's probably the best quarterback in the league right now, would you say, Fajardo?
I mean,
slightly better than Collaros.
I like Mazzoli's play. He doesn't have the touchdowns.
Yes.
But Mazzoli's been pretty steady in those games, just not the touchdowns.
They haven't been finishing.
But yeah, it's not a high bar if Fajardo's the top marker.
He's a good quarterback. He had 4,500 yards one year.
He did. I'm not taking anything away from him. He is a good quarterback, and he's done well enough. He just, he can't do it in the pressure situations, but whatever. Doink.
Hey, it's true. It's true. It's damn true. Who do you got at number one? I got the Bombers right now at the Power Rankings for week 2.
Yeah, they haven't been spectacular, but for me, I still got the Bombers at number one. I mean, you're 2-0, you're back-to-back great champions. It's going to take a loss or something for me to knock you off the top perch. They can win all their games this way that they've won against Ottawa all season, so that'll keep them, at number one for me for sure.
For sure, yeah. That's the thing when you don't come up with your best performance and you're still 2-0. That's
exactly.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? They have not looked good. Probably say Ottawa should have won those games, but hey, Bombers came out on top, 2-0, and Jeff Coates back. The defense looked a little bit better. Gave up a lot of yards, but didn't give up the touchdowns.
Yeah,
and they made big plays when they needed it. They forced a fumble out of Mazzoli.
Yeah,
on a 3rd and 2 sneak.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Which is another shot at Lapo. It's like, what are you doing there, man?
Yeah,
take your time. Get your backup with Caleb Evans in there. Let him do that. You rushed it. You had Mazzoli go for this, and you blew it. So, but yeah.
Talking about short yardage, that's a little concern of mine for the Bombers with Prukop out.
Yeah.
Since that Saskatchewan preseason game, I've been really eerie about Drew Brown taking those, and he did not look confident taking them. And he's a little smaller, bro.
Yeah.
So
they got what's the other guy they have there? Mancuso or just I can't remember his name now.
Bro, you have Brady Oliveira.
Just give the big guy besides that, those 3rd and 1s, you usually want the quarterback just to sneak that kind of thing, right? Jeez, I'm surprised most teams don't do that. Have the running back right under center.
Thank you. Why don't you just practice that? Let Oliveira get good at thing, and I don't understand that.
It's not like it's a mystery what a team is doing on those 31 plays, right?
No.
So you could put almost anyone in there to do it because it's not a mystery that, oh my God, they might throw the ball. No, they're not going to throw the ball. They're going to try to rush for that 1 yard anyways.
It's some kind of rule.
So if it's a quarterback or a running back, what's the difference?
Yeah, put them in the Wildcat and then you're good to go. Goodness gracious. Friends and neighbors, don't forget to check out our next episode this week. We'll look at the week 3 matchups. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Hit that like. Leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Benny, I need a Trotz Watch update, brother.
Good old Trotz.
Yeah, give me a Trotz Watch, bro.
Well, according to Jeff Hamilton of the Winnipeg Free Press, from what he's heard, Barry Trotz has already agreed to terms of service with the Jets. But he's thinking it's True North that's holding off the announcement or the final signing of it.
What is going on?
I think the biggest thing
Why?
is I think Trotz, if he does it, he wants more control of the roster. This is all according to Jeff Hamilton. Wants more control of the roster, wants more say, wants more input probably in draft picks, and wants to build the team probably his own way, which I think is keeping True North maybe having second thoughts. I don't know, because that's usually been Chevy's job, right? Chevy's been the one picking the players. Chevy's been the one, behind the scenes doing all that stuff. So
yeah.
I guess they just got to decide at some point, yeah, we're going to give it to you, Trotz, or, we're not going to, and we're taking the offer, or I don't know if there is an offer yet off the table. And
you have to be kidding me. You have to be kidding me. This guy is the best bench boss available for this team. He's from Manitoba, and you're worried about roster decisions? Man, get out of here, man. This is already... Bro, come on.
To me, this has already gone on way too long, man. How long has it been since the season ended that we're still here talking about? I want to be talking about the Jets coach that got hired and what he's going to do. The draft is going to come up in 2-3 weeks. Let's get this going. Let's get this finalized. Let's make this announcement. I hope they're not waiting till after the Stanley Cup to make this announcement either. Just go, man. Okay, if you want to keep Bettman wants to keep the announcement away from that, that's fine.
That's fine. But it better not be about this little business about the roster. Like, come on, man. The best available, and you're the Winnipeg Jets, one of the least desirable locations to go? Come on. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, let's not lose a coach, a pretty good coach on, hey, because we don't want him to have control of the roster. I don't see. I mean, the coach has been hired, and throughout this whole process of the NHL, the Stanley Cup playoffs, Pete DeBoer just got hired in Dallas.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's another recycled coach. So, like, come on, man.
Welcome to the NHL.
The guy hasn't really done anything to prove that he should get another coaching job right away.
It's stupid.
So it's been done. It's been it's been announced. So let's do it, man. Yeah. If it's Trotz, let's go Trotz. If not, at this point, I almost want to hear, it's Trotz or Trotz is out completely.
Just make the announcement. I'm done.
Make one announcement, one way or another.
No. Shout out to the Canadian Fighting Center and the great event that they had this weekend, Saturday Night Fights at the Stony Mountain Recreational Center. I had the honor of being a ring announcer for the first time in my life, awesome. And the winner. That's pretty good. So don't forget to check them out. They have an event coming in October, and hopefully I'll be the ring announcer again. So shout out to the Canadian Fighting Center. Benny, do you have anything to say to the people?
You know what? Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe, like, you know what? Give us some comments, whatever you want. And you know what? Have a good couple days.
And in the famous words of Joe Theismann, nobody in football should be called a genius. A genius is a guy like Norman Einstein. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.